morning, good 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 morning to you. I want to welcome you to Creating Hustle, a show where we like to ask creatives, how did you take your idea and turn it into a business? And as you know, you can only find the show right here on ESPN Richmon, 106.1 FM. Good morning to you, everybody. I'm not sure where you're listening to this at, but I hope that you are ready to gain some tips and knowledge about just being a creative overall, because on this show, we like to ask creatives how they took their creative ideas and turned it into a money-making business. And each and every Thursday, you can catch me here at 5:30 a.m. so you can get your day started with me, your boy Mush King, and I want to welcome you again. But before we get started, I want to say thanks to all of those who have tuned back in and those who have reached out to us and been supporting the show. I appreciate you and everything that you're doing. The Creative Circle is growing with more and more people who are sharing insight as to what they are doing in the community. So one thing that I do want to say is I've been building a media network, if you don't know, for the past 7 years. And one thing that I haven't been doing is documenting my whole progress. Now, you know, I do have books where I write down all my ideas, and I've been collecting those books over the years. But, you know, as a part of like media, video or audio of what I've been doing, I don't have that. So on today's show, I am actually bringing a new young creative onto the network. And I thought it would be a great idea to bring him on and get some insight as to what he thinks about being a creative. And it's great to hear the younger responses as to what a creative is and what they need to provide in order to grow. So sit back and relax as we slide into the Creative Corner in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today in the Creative Corner, we are here with a young creative that I met via the internet. I always tell y'all the internet is a crazy place where you can meet the most random people who may be able to take your dream and turn your idea into a business. And today we are joined by Jamarius. I don't know what happened. What's going on, Jamarius? How are you, man? I had a little brain fart right there. How you doing today?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good, man. You know, it's all about being creative, learning how to just play off of mistakes and just keep it going. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what you are doing.
Well, I am a young creative, as he said earlier. I'm from South Carolina. I started my business when I was 17 years old, about 2 years ago. And I really didn't know that I was going to be something this major, impactful, for a better term. And so I call myself a motivational speaker and an encourager. And that's my main purpose and my main goal is to encourage, motivate, and inspire through everything that I do.
We are in the Creative Corner on ESPN Richmon, 106.1 FM, and we are here with Jamarius, who is an author and also a podcaster. So the one thing I want to ask you is, because you're a little bit younger than I am, like, what does being a creative mean to you?
It means being able to express myself in different avenues. You know, I can get on Instagram and be motivational while also being my funny self. I can get, on my podcast and talk about all the crazy stuff I done been through and help somebody along the way. So being creative to me is being able to express yourself while also reaching and inspiring other people through your experience.
It's a great answer. We're on Creating Hustle right here on ESPN Richmon 106.1 with Jamarius. One thing I want to ask you is, because I know that you are an author and I know you recently released a book. Tell us a little bit about your book and also what the journey has been with releasing books through Amazon and what that process is like.
First off, the book is about my life, and I'm doing 2 parts. So the first part is kind of short because I wanted people to really get me and understand me and know who you're reading from, because I feel a lot of times, especially like public figures or whatever, they will release different projects and you may know them as that public figure, but you never know them as just the person. And so sometimes we really miss great information or encouraging information because we're too busy looking at the figure and not looking at the person. And so the first book was really about finding out who I am, and behind the podcast, behind the social media stuff, the magazine articles, just who I am. And the journey was kind of crazy because at first I really didn't know how I was gonna do it. Like, you a book? Like,
Yeah,
what?
it seems
How in
crazy.
the world am I gonna do that? And so I had really talked with a lot of different authors and publishers, and I really just said, you know what, I can do it by myself. Because, I just felt like I was getting to run around and different stuff wasn't really coming together like I wanted it to. And so I'm the type of person where if I feel like it's not anything moving, I'm like, okay, I can let me find a way to do it myself. So I found a way to do it myself. And thank you, Amazon, for, supporting and believing in me and pushing you, boy, because I needed it. Yeah.
So what do you think separates you from other creatives around your age?
I don't want to sound cocky, but
you got to talk your talk.
Me being me, that separates me already. And also, I'm pure and I'm authentic in everything that I do. I always say I'm an open book. Everywhere I go, I always tell people whatever they ask me, I'm gonna tell them. Because if you can't use your experience, why would you sit there and call yourself a creative? Because a creative uses their experience to reach and teach others. And so I'm always an open book with that, and I'm pure and I'm authentic, and I ain't really written all the competing because I know who I
am. Okay. So we are here with Jamarius, who is the host of Turks Talks. And let us know about the podcast and what you've been doing thus far, and then we could talk about, the announcements of you coming to the network. So
y'all heard that? Well, I really have been trying to build upon the podcast because a lot of people really don't know that just because, you get a lot of traction or you get a lot of people wanting to see your stuff, that doesn't mean you are in the expert level. It just means you got a lot of traction and a lot of people want to see your stuff. But now that I have come to the network, I have seen that you have to have work. You have to know how to work. You have to be disciplined, and you really have to, want your podcast to be the next best thing. Because there's so many of them, so many of the podcasts talking about the same thing. And so it has taught me a lot. It has taught me a lot, patience, discipline, and most of all, work ethic. Because, a lot of times we get so caught up in thinking that we already got it and we missed the mark. So I'm grateful for that.
So what was it for you that I know you were doing the show on your own and then you reached out. I know that you reached out like maybe a year or so ago and we had hit you back and then we lost communication again. So like what, provoked you to reach out to the network and say, you know what, maybe I need help with this instead of having to do it on my own? Because most will be like, I'm going to do it on my own and figure it out that way. So what made you reach out and say, I possibly want to work with someone else?
Really, it was the fact that I seen the content on the network's page and I was like, oh, I love all Black, especially in the time we were in last year where, it was everything pro-Black. Everybody wanted to be on the Black side because we seen how dangerous and how scary it was for us as African Americans. And so seeing networks and blogs and so many different Instagram pages and Facebook pages using their platform to push Blackness, that made me happy. And so with me, I was looking for a podcast network where I could express my Blackness and be authentic and being me while also, evolving and growing and learning more. And so I said, this network is definitely it's definitely a network for me because I feel like I can still be myself while also growing. And I hit the network up. And at first I was like, oh gosh, maybe I didn't hit the mark. But then when I got the email back, I was like, yo, I'm really about to read it. So it was exciting for me and I'm still excited.
That's good, man. Listen, like some of the things that I hear you say are things that like, for me working as a creative is refreshing to hear. Cause sometimes we work with people who are older, they have like a lot of life boggled down on them. So hearing you and, the way you feel like you want to hustle and create, like that really just motivates me to be like, okay, you know what, let me get back on the horse and keep going. So I appreciate that. So my last question for you today is like, what does a future in media look like for you? Like if you had the dream situation of what that would look like what does that look like to you? You got to speak it into existence.
Ooh, really? I really think that the future for me is really just still being myself while also teaching and touching other people to be able to be themselves. And I want my pages and all of my platforms to be like a safe space for people to be able to really get what you need to get for your life and for your mind, while also still feeling convicted because you feel that you need to do better in life. And so I always tell people, I'm always that little cousin who will tell you how I feel about you, but still love you enough to, hey, but I know how to help you. Or I know how to, I got some people who can help you out. So I really want to grow my mindset because I'm really the type of creative where I'm like, I want to quit social media every day. So every day I'm logging out. Every day I'm on the verge of deactivating my page. I'm deleting apps every day. And then I realized like, no, this is really what I'm called to do. And when I was younger, everybody used to call me the little preacher man because I used to have so much wisdom. And so now I want to use that for the advantage of my platform.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it first right here on Create and Hustle in the Creative Corner, where we've been speaking to Jamarius, who is the host of Turk Talks, which is now going to be on the CWF network. So be sure to look out for that. Jamarius, let us know where we can find you on the socials and any other information that we need to know.
Absolutely. So you can find me on Facebook at Jamarius Leaphart, Jamarius Leaphart, Leaphart. You can find me on Instagram at Jamarius, 4 real, and you can find me on Twitter at Jamarius for real.
All right. Well, folks, this is Create and Hustle, where we like to ask creators, how did you take your idea and turn it into a business? So Jamarius, thank you for joining us right here on Create and Hustle. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. All right. I want to thank Jamarius for coming on to Create and Hustle, and be sure to look out for his show Turk Talks on the CWF network, and also be sure to check out his books and everything that he's doing. And up next, I know that we speak to a lot of nonprofits, and if you listen to this show, we've had a multitude of people who have come and talked about their nonprofits and things like that. But for those of you who may be out there and you think about starting a nonprofit, but you don't know where to get started, my next guest is hosting a workshop this summer that is going to help you with everything you need to know about getting your nonprofit started and everything you need in order to keep your business running on the up and up, because you don't want the government to come and get you. But let's slide back into the Creative Corner and talk to India Hartman. All right, we are back in the Creative Corner with India Hartman, who is helping folks start their nonprofits. Now, if you listen to Create and Hustle, then you know that we have had nonprofits on here before. And one of the things about nonprofits is you want to make sure your paperwork and everything else is in order to make sure that you are effectively running a proper nonprofit. So India is here today because I saw that she was putting together a workshop, a nonprofit one-on-one workshop. So welcome to Create and Hustle, India. How are you today?
I am actually pretty good today. How are you doing today?
I am doing great. Thank you for joining us here on Create and Hustle, where we like to ask creators, how did you take your idea and turn it into a business? So tell us a little bit about what you do and a little bit about the event that you're putting on.
Okay, so basically I am the co-owner of Hartman Consulting. And so we are a business firm from anything dealing with nonprofits and LLCs, but my heart, of course, and passion is going to be nonprofits. We started a little bit back when we did our own nonprofits. We're the founder of a nonprofit for 10 years. So it started back then when people would give you these, the different prices, different rates. I was young. I was 22 years old. I was like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of money. I can't do this. So I took a few classes, and I also just really learned the process over the years. Also, a lot of the experience in which I have gained has come from running the nonprofit that I'm founder of, also another nonprofit, and working on board of many others. So learning the legalistics of everything, of each state, and how to actually run the nonprofit, and doing different things that have to do with actually the everyday living of a nonprofit. That's how I kind of made into a class. So about the class, so we do the business formations. We set up the LLCs, we set up the nonprofits, we do paperwork, we do logos, all that. We contract out out who we need to contract, but everything kind of runs through us. We'll set up any state, 501c3, short form, long form, any of that paperwork for that. It is our passion. We also teach the training classes. This is what we're doing now. We have individual training classes, but really, like, one day I was talking to a client. I'm like, what amazing thing would it be if we can do a 2-day workshop to not do individual classes, but to put all the classes into a workshop, record them as well, just in case you can't be there the whole time, and then have that available. Also, new things that nonprofit founders actually deal with. So yes, we came up with a workshop for cultivating your nonprofit 101. And that goes from the point of the foundation of actually managing and starting. How do you start, all the way to asking, are you grant ready? And trying to get you to that point of being grant ready.
We're on ESPN Richmon 106.1 FM with India Hartman, who is here with the Cultivating Your Nonprofit 101 workshop. Being that you put on a workshop, and I know previously before the interview started, you said that you just put on a workshop previously. What are some of the common questions that you receive from people who are trying to start nonprofits or trying to get their nonprofit in order?
All right. The first thing I receive is, do I want to become LLC or do I want to become nonprofit? Really, what is the difference? That is the number one thing people ask. Like, what my idea is it going to be a nonprofit? Is that the proper way to go? Number two, of course, is, do I have the time and the money to invest into this nonprofit, to invest into doing what actually, what's in my heart to do? That's one of the questions as well. Another question would be, is like, how many board members do I need? How do I find board members? How do I actually market my nonprofit? And so by that, we end up coming together and creating this different courses within that for nonprofits, so we can be able to provide you with that all in one.
All right. I love that. So being that you are doing this online, like, what benefit does that give you to be able to expand your, I see Hartman Consulting on there. So yes. How does this workshop, how do you take a workshop like this and translate it into people signing up for your services?
So basically, you will go through our website. We do handle all 50 states. So when you normally sign up, register, we do work through Zoom, just like, where we are. And so we also do the screen share feature. They now have a Blackboard feature as well. So all of that, normally, once you go to our website, which is at www.hartmanconsulting1.com, you will literally see it on our front page to go and register for the course.
All right, folks. Well, you heard it first. India Hartman right here from Hartman Consulting. Having the Cultivating Your Nonprofit 101 for the community, helping y'all put your nonprofits in order. So be sure to check it out. Let us know when the event is and any other details that we may need to know.
Sure. So it's Cultivating Your Nonprofit 101. It's a 2-day interactive workshop. So the 2 dates is going to be different information each day. It's going to be July the 1st from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Everybody knows that's 7 to 10 on Eastern Standard. And then July the 2nd, which is 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central Standard, which is 10 to 3 on Eastern Standard. Now, the recordings are available. So if you're not available, let's say, for example, on that Friday evening, the recording will be available. It will be a week turnaround for the videos, of course, to download from Zoom and get those courses to you. It also is live as well, which means that it's not boring, just content running across. We're asking questions. We're asking you, how do you feel about certain things? And it's a live Q&A. So you're able to really get some of the answers that you need. Like on our last class, somebody literally broke down their budget while we was doing budget broke down. Hey, if you can work while we talk, we're completely okay with that, as long as it doesn't hold up the class. Some of the topics that we talk about is foundations of a nonprofit, board ethics and training. Are you grant ready? Nonprofit leadership, community volunteers and getting partnerships, managing a nonprofit in your home, marketing your nonprofit, being mission focused. 501c3 now what? Writing programs effortlessly and budget breakdown. Now the class is normally $300, but it is $150 for all of that, because it also includes minutes of a meeting template, budget breakdown template, volunteer handbook template, volunteer application template, sponsorship letter template, and bank minutes template. And we also provide Afterpay, which is 4 payments of $37.50. So you can go through our website directly to www.hartmanconsulting1.com, and you also can sign up for Afterpay in your cart, or you can pay for the class fully.
Well, folks, you heard that it's affordable. So go ahead and teach yourself some things about this nonprofit stuff. Even if you are someone who may have a nonprofit already, it never hurts to learn and educate yourself some more, or hear a different perspective as to how, some things, it may be told different for you to gain some more insight as to what you have to do for your situation. So India, thank you again for joining us on Create and Hustle. Let the people know where they can find you on social media.
Yes, actually, my personal page is also on the face of my business. So it's India Andrews Hartman on Facebook. That's India Andrews Hartman. If you send a friend request, I could just delete a few people and add you on there, but it'll be in the listing. If you want to go to our business page, it is under Hartman Consulting. And the Facebook is www.facebook.com. Hartman Consulting 2019 is the ending part. We're also on Instagram under Hartman Consulting as well. On that. And also, we're also with the Better Business Bureau under Hartman Consulting as well with Mobile, Alabama.
Well, thank you, India, for joining us on Create and Hustle, where we like to ask creatives, how did you take your idea and turn it into a business? So I want to thank you again. When the time gets closer, maybe we'll speak again, about some updates as to what you have going on for the event. All right?
Okay.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
I want to thank my guest, India, for joining us today in the Creative Corner. I mean, listen, if you're starting a nonprofit, you want to make sure that your paperwork's right. And why not have the templates? If they're providing them, go ahead and get them. Sometimes you have to invest in yourself, folks. So be sure to check out India on socials and, follow her, and be sure to check out that workshop that is coming up later this year. So, guys, it's time again for me to get up out of here. Before I skate up out of here, please be sure to go follow the CWF Network on YouTube. I'm trying to grow the YouTube account, and you can also catch these interviews there on YouTube as well. So check us out there. Follow me on social media. Mush King __ is where you can find me. And remember, this show right here is just a show on how to create and hustle, a show where we like to ask creatives how they took their ideas and turned it into a business and are now making money from it. And you too. You listening right now can also benefit from, these voices and these tips that these people are sharing, because it takes a lot to learn a lot of these things. So be sure to get your Create and Hustle on, and be sure to catch me each and every Thursday right here on ESPN Richmon 106.1 on Create and Hustle. I'm out of here, folks. Catch you next time.